Welcome to SENS Talk. My name is Brandon, and I am your host. Before we get started, please follow me on Twitter at @SensTalk_. I have plenty of great content there, not only just for the Ottawa Senators. And if you're a Sens fan, I'm the guy to follow because I have all the breaking news, all the rumors, and I even myself break some news. So be sure to check me out there. Plenty of great content. But on top of the Senators news, we also have a bunch of sports news. I don't just like hockey, ladies and gentlemen. I love basketball, football, baseball, etc. So if you love sports, I'm the guy to follow, and I would really appreciate the support. And even on top of that, I've appreciated the support that y'all have already given me through the years, so thank you for that. Now let's get into this conference finals preview. As you can see from this title, that's what this video is going to be about. Now this is going to be an interesting video because my finals prediction is down the drain. The New York Islanders took down the Flyers, who I thought were going to the finals, and the Avalanche just fell to the Stars, who I thought were going to win the Stanley Cup. So, it's a little bittersweet. I think Colorado put up a really good fight. I think though that when you're starting your third goaltender, it's a little tough to win games. Kudos to Dallas, of course, but it is tough to win games if you're Colorado. And for the New York Islanders, Barry Trotz. Let's talk about this New York Islanders team. Actually, let's get into that. The New York Islanders, Barry Trotz, the New York Islanders themselves. They remind me so much like the 2017 Ottawa Senators team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals, just like the New York Islanders have done. The Islanders took down Florida, they took down Washington, and they took down the Flyers. And let's get into this preview because the Islanders are being slept on, in my opinion. A lot of people say they're boring to watch. And no disrespect to the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights, but did you watch that game last night, Game 1 of the Western Conference Final? Listen, I respect both teams, and as you can see, I really do respect Vegas for sure. But it was pretty boring to watch. It was a 1-0 win for Dallas, and we'll get to that later. But the Islanders are fun to watch. They score goals. Their offense in this postseason so far has scored 3.38 goals per game. If you went on Twitter and heard and read about the Islanders, you'd think they score 1.52 goals per game, and they just win 2-1 on 1-3-1 hockey, just like the Sens did in 2017. But the funny thing is, just like the Sens in 2017, that's the biggest lie ever. The Sens scored plenty of goals, and the games were fun to watch. The Senators went to overtime almost every single series 3 or 4 times. So, just like the Senators, the Islanders are a fun team to watch. Now let's take a look at the offense, and let's break down the series. I'll let you know who I think will be moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals in the 2020 playoffs. So let's start off with the offense, where Tampa Bay has 3 goals per game, while the New York Islanders have 3.38 goals per game. So like I just said, the Islanders are scoring way more goals than many people even expected them to. And on top of that, many people aren't giving the Islanders enough credit for their offensive contributions. Pajot, the former Senator, is going off. Barzal, some may say, is a superstar. He's certainly one of the best young players in the league. You got plenty of players chipping in, and they're really buying into that Barry Trotz system. Now, the power play is another example of this offense being written off. The Islanders' power play is .01 less than the Tampa Bay Lightning. 17.1 for Tampa, 17 for the Islanders. Now, the best part about this Islanders team is their defense and the way they can really shut down any team they play. The defense for Tampa Bay, thanks to Vasilevskiy's great plays at 2.31 goals against per game, but I don't think you can compete against Barry Trotz's system. The Islanders have allowed 1.94 goals against per game, ladies and gentlemen. 1.94. That means if you want to beat the New York Islanders, you're going to have to put at least 50, 60 shots probably to get a chance. That is incredible defense. And let's look at this penalty kill. Tampa Bay's penalty kill, 81.3. For the New York Islanders, it's 82.2. So if you're looking at all this, obviously, it looks like the Islanders are the better team. Let's take a look at the goaltending, okay? And like I've always said, and I'm very famous for saying it, I've said in a lot of my recaps and my previews, and I will say it again here. You cannot win a playoff series without a hot goaltender, and on top of that, a top goaltender. Goaltending is everything in the playoffs, in my opinion, and if you're going to win a playoff series, it starts with your goaltender. So let's take a look at Tampa Bay's goalie, Andrei Vasilevskiy. He's been phenomenal in this playoff series and this playoffs postseason in general. He's 10-3 in the postseason, a 1.91 goals against average, and a .931 save percentage. Those are top tier numbers. That's like, I'm not comparing him to Dominic Hasek, Ottawa Senators legend, but those are Hasek numbers. Hasek put up those numbers in his prime. Vasilevskiy, I honestly think he's a top 5 goalie, top 3 goalie even in the NHL in my opinion. And he's proving it here. He is carrying the load for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And while, of course, Tampa has so many offensive weapons and a lot of good defensemen, Without a good goalie, they wouldn't be anywhere. And thanks to Vasilevskiy, they are in the conference finals. And y'all can like or dislike what I just said, but I honestly believe without Vasilevskiy and with Stamkos out, it would have been really tough sailing against a couple of those teams Tampa Bay had to play. Now, Semyon Varlamov for the Islanders is not Andrei Vasilevskiy, but is certainly a good goaltender. He's 9-4 in the playoffs. He has a 2 goals against average and a .921 save percentage. Those are very respectable numbers, and that's solid numbers, and those numbers are good enough to win you a series. Now, the X factors for this series, the Isle system. So many similarities to the Cinderella Sanders, like I alluded to earlier. Now, if you compare the Sanders and the Islanders, they're both being written from 2017 to the 2020 Islanders. They were both written off. They were both said that they're born to watch. They were both said that they can't score, and they were both said they were going to lose. Now, the Sanders did lose in Game 7 double overtime. Please don't remind me. That was heartbreaking. But the New York Islanders, not only do they have all that momentum on their side, they took down the Florida Panthers, who are a very good team. They took down the Washington Capitals, who won a cup in the last 2 years. Ovechkin's a stud. They took down the Philadelphia Flyers, who looked unstoppable until playing the Islanders in their system. So if Tampa wants to win this series, they got to break through the system. And with Stamkos, by the way, Steven Stamkos, he's out for Tampa Bay in this Eastern Conference Final for all the games. So they're going to have to rely a lot on Andrei Vasilevskiy and Braden Point to take down the Islanders, in my opinion. Braden Point, 6 goals, 12 assists. He's having an incredible playoffs. Vasilevskiy, like I said, .931 save percentage. He's doing very well. But I think when a team has all the momentum like the Islanders do, when a team is playing for each other, is playing as a team, and is playing for their coach, and like clearly they run through a wall for their coach, I like the Islanders here, and I know a lot of people are taking Tampa Bay, and they should. Tampa Bay is the better team. But what I look at is goaltending, and they got good goaltending. I look at systems that will help the goaltending, and they got the best system in the league right now. And I look at momentum and goal scoring, and they got both. I think Tampa Bay will put up a huge fight, and this may be a hot take. I think the Islanders win this series in 7 games and move on to the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, I originally wrote here Tampa in 7. I was going back and forth, but I gotta say, I think the Islanders, with all the momentum they have, with the solid goaltending they're getting, and with that incredible system that Barry Trotz has put into play, I think the Islanders are a force to be reckoned with. And now, maybe I'm a little biased as a Sens fan. I want to see this team go far because there's so many similarities. But I really do believe with the momentum on their side and with just the fact that they're scoring goals and they're playing an incredible defensive system, I think they go to the Stanley Cup Finals and they're going to take on one of Dallas or Vegas. But I do think Vasilevskiy will have a great series. And if Tampa has any chance, it starts with Vasilevskiy. But I just don't know how Tampa can pierce a hole into this Islander system. I just don't know how they can do it. Now let's move on to the next series. It's the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Dallas Stars. Game 1 happened last night. I wish I could have done the video last night, but I had to upload the podcast episode. By the way, great way to plug it. Be sure to check out the Best of 7 podcast, episode number 21. I recapped a lot of great things, MLB trade deadline, NBA playoffs, fantasy football, etc. So be sure to check that out. But let's talk about Vegas versus Dallas. Dallas Stars won Game 1, 1-0. They lead the series 1-0. But what strikes me as a little odd is Vegas hasn't scored a lot of goals in a long, long time. And Thatcher Demko went off in that series in the second round against Vegas for Vancouver. And Vegas hasn't recovered clearly. They haven't scored an even strength goal. I think since game... I think it's been a couple of games since Vegas has scored an even strength goal. And that's not a good thing. When you have Riley Smith, Jonathan Marchessault, of course, Mark Stone, you should be scoring goals. Shea Theodore, you should be scoring goals, and they're not. Let's take a look at the offense while we're talking about goals. For Vegas, 3.06 goals per game. That's pretty good. Dallas, 3.18 goals per game. That's also pretty good. Both teams can score. And I think what's really shocking is in the regular season, Dallas struggled quite a bit with goal scoring. But in this playoffs, like any team needs in the playoffs, they've gotten so many contributions from random players, like the Finnish kid, I can't pronounce his name, but kudos to him. Absolute stud. That hat trick to win the series for Dallas. He's playing in first line minutes. And I watched some of that game last night. The kid got some skill. He's got some speed. He has a good forecheck. I like that guy, the Finnish kid. But if you look at the power play, this is what's most surprising to me about Dallas. They have a 27.3% rating on the power play. Let me put that into perspective. More than 1 out of 4 chances they're going to score a goal. That's insane. Well, Vegas, respectively, at 18.8. Now, defensively, this is where Vegas has the upper hand with a 2.25 goals against per game rating, while Dallas, not in a good spot with 3.29 goals against per game. On the penalty kill, it's effectively the same, where Vegas has a better defensive scheme, where they're at 88.2%, while Dallas is at 83.3%. Now, let's take a look at the goaltending, and remember, I think the defense for Vegas is going to play a huge factor into this series. Now, let's talk about the goaltending. Robin Lehner, Marc-Andre Fleury started game 1, but Robin Lehner is the starter for the Vegas Golden Knights. That's very obvious. He absolutely dominated Game 7 against Vancouver. Not only did Vegas dominate the game, but did you see that glove stop off of Brock, or was it Jake Virtanen? Brock Besser or Jake Virtanen, but it was probably one of the most beautiful glove snags I've seen in my life. And he has an 8-4 record in this playoffs, a 1.99 goals against average, and the Panda has a 918 save percentage. So the Panda, Robin Lehner, has played spectacular. And like I said in the previous series, you need a good goaltender to go anywhere in this playoffs, and Robin Lehner is certainly that guy. Now for the Dallas Stars, Anton Khudobin was seen as one of the best backup goaltenders in the league. He's now carrying the Dallas Stars, who are now 3 wins away, ladies and gentlemen, from going to the Stanley Cup Finals. And Khudobin has played very well. I give him nothing but respect. A 9-5 record, a 2.74 goals against average, and a 914 save percentage. Those are respectable numbers. Are they world beater numbers? No, but they will get the job done, and they clearly have. Thanks to Khudobin, they've won 9 games. Now, the X factors of this series, Vegas needs to start putting pucks in the net. Does Peter DeBoer, the head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights, start to shake the lines up a bit? It's been a few games without much offense for Vegas. While Dallas is all the scoring momentum, can they be stopped? So effectively, what I saw last night, which will unfortunately hinder my analysis here, is that while Vegas played well, they just couldn't score. They're being stifled right now. I don't know what it is. They're in a scoring slump. I think they're going to break out of that slump. And on top of that, I think while you look at the Dallas offensive attack, you also have to take a look, and that power play rating is a bit alarming because at 27.3%, now I don't have the stats here, but I would assume, now maybe I'm wrong, comment below if I am, but I would assume that at 27.3%, that means a lot of their goals in this postseason has been scored on the power play. When you're going against the Vegas Golden Knights, with an 88.2% efficiency rating on the penalty kill, that's not going to be easy. I'm going to pull up some stats here just to take a look. But, if you look at just the number one power play versus like the number 2 penalty kill, I'm going to look it up. I'm looking it up right now. That's not a good thing if you're a Dallas Stars fan, because while yes, you could score, can you score on the top penalty kill in the league in this postseason? It's one of the best. It's one of the best. I'm looking at it right now. It is the best. From the remaining teams. They are the best playoff team for penalty kill rating. So, can Dallas pierce the sky through that Vegas Golden Knights penalty kill? I don't know. Now, I'm saying this because in the regular season, we've seen it already, that Dallas doesn't score many goals. So I'm alarmed at the fact that last night they scored 1 goal, and it didn't really look good for them. It was really boring, really locked down defense, and that's the way Vegas plays. So Vegas starts to score goals. I don't like the chances for the Dallas Stars here. Now, I love the story of the Dallas Stars. Rick Bowness, the Senators head coach, he's led this Dallas Stars team farther than I think anyone really thought, and I give nothing. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of this Dallas Stars team because they finally had the breakthrough to go to the conference finals, and they're 3 wins away from going to the Stanley Cup Finals. But even though they're up 1-0 in this series, I think Vegas wins this one in probably 6 or 7 in my opinion. And that's not because this jersey, it's a Vegas jersey if you're listening to this on the podcast, but it's not just because maybe I'm a little biased because of Mark Stone. It's because I think Dallas's offensive output, from what I believe, has been scored mostly on the power play. And if you're going against the top penalty kill, that's not good news, and this Vegas team will start scoring goals. I guarantee it. this team is too good to not score goals anytime soon. So I think Vegas wins this in 6 or 7. I think they head to the Stanley Cup Finals again to take on the New York Islanders. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. I think Game 2 should be a lot more interesting. I think Lehner will be in net, and I think Vegas will probably shake up their lines a little bit, and I think that will help them in the long run to score some goals. But besides that, comment below what you think about my predictions. I think more people will agree with me about the Vegas Golden Knights prediction. I don't think many of y'all will like my New York Islanders prediction. So let me know in the comment section below what you think. And besides that, thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of y'all, and I love y'all very much. So thank you all for watching. Please follow me on Twitter at @SenSuck_. I have plenty of great content there. It's a great follow, and I really appreciate the support. Please like this video, share this video with your cool stuff, click that red button down there, make it great, and subscribe to us. And of course, click that notification bell and turn notifications on so you can get notified for every single SENS Talk video. Besides that, enjoy the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Finals. And game number 1 for the Eastern Conference Finals, I believe, is tonight at 8 o'clock, which is in approximately 3 to 4 hours. So I'll probably get this video. You'll probably be seeing this video at 6:37, as it's 4:45 right now. I have to edit it. But besides that, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Go Sens, go.